It is a beautiful afternoon and evening here in our sister city of Jelenia Góra. As you've kind of helped set the stage here, this is in the western portion of Poland. It's right along the border with Germany and the Czech Republic. And Jelenia Góra is a city about the size of Tyler. It's just slightly smaller, about 80,000 people who live here. And its population has blossomed over the last 7 months due to the number of refugees coming across the border from Ukraine, of course, hoping to escape the war and the conflict there. So that is a primary focus of what the delegation from East Texas is doing here this week. But another part of this is the ongoing sister city relationship that's existed for almost 30 years between the two cities. The relationship between Karkonosze College and TJC has been the primary driving force behind that, a faculty exchange. But in the years since, it's become a great way to exchange the culture of both communities, to learn about the two communities. And so there are tourism opportunities, there are cultural ties, and both communities are rich and deeply faithful communities. A lot of churches here, more than 80% of the country of Poland identifies as Christian, 70% as Catholic. And so there are a lot of interesting connections between our communities. And this afternoon, we've finished some of our face-to-face meetings and our tour of the surrounding region, which is called Lower Silesia. It's the state, essentially, that Jelenia Góra is located in. We visited a castle that dated back to the 13th century. We also visited a minor basilica, which was built in the 17th century. And I'll have some photos on the In Focus section at KLTV and KTRE.com a little later, as well as some videos of that. But this is really just a great view of their promenade, not even their downtown square, but you can see a lot of just the beautiful buildings. This is a church here in the distance, a beautiful copper dome.
That is gorgeous.
And a few of the members of the delegation from Tyler have just been enjoying a few minutes before our next opportunity this evening. We'll be meeting with sister city delegations that are also here. We'll be having dinner alongside the Italian sister city and one of the Ukrainian sister cities of Jelenia Góra. So just like Tyler, which has 6 sister cities, Jelenia Góra has numerous sister cities from around the world. And of course, throughout the week, we've kind of shown you some of the different opportunities that are being explored and the people who are making up the delegation. I'm walking here right alongside, once again, Tyler Fire Chief David Coble. And as we've just been walking here through the promenade, have noticed some really interesting things. So this is not just about tourism or learning about culture, but what can we learn from our partners here in Poland? What we're walking up to is an AED, and this caught Chief Coble's eye. Why is that?
Well, it's an outdoor AED that's available to anyone who wants to use it. We do have them in Tyler, but they're in key buildings around the city. And I thought in areas where we gather outside, maybe ball fields and maybe around the square, it'd be great to maybe have something simple like this that can be used by anyone in case of an emergency. So when I get back, I'm going to research and try to find out if they're available in the States. And if they are, maybe it's something we can learn here from Poland and use it in the United States.
So again, this is just really, something that's eye-opening. AEDs are nothing new in the U.S., but as Chief Coble just said, fairly uncommon, if not unheard of in some parts, to have these on the exterior of the building just for anyone to be able to use in an emergency. And so that's part of what we're doing in the downtime here, is just not only taking in the surroundings, but keeping your eyes open and looking for opportunities to learn about differences. What can we bring back to East Texas? I'm going to walk over here now. to Michael Howell, who's the manager of the Tyler Metropolitan Planning Organization, the Tyler Area Metropolitan Planning Organization. He's the transportation guru who is on our delegation. What things have you noticed so far today, or what things have stood out to you? Yesterday, of course, we visited the Refugee Center, but today was a little lighter day to explore the region. What things, whether they be personally or professionally, have caught your attention?
The overall just transportation system, obviously, it's so different from what we have back in the States. So it is really interesting to see how other cultures have developed over time. Public transit is much more prevalent in this part of the country, especially walking and biking, which is something that Tyler has really started to go towards and move towards a more active lifestyle for all the health benefits and things like that. So I think that really seeing it and seeing how things are working here really has been rather eye-opening, and it's really good to hear the feedback of the people who really enjoy this so much.
Well, thanks for sharing that. It has been an extraordinary day. Again, keeping our eyes open for what can be learned, the differences and the similarities between our two communities. So we're again going to be enjoying a meal just a little bit later with the sister city delegations of Jelenia Gora that are also here at this same time. And we've also just been enjoying the music. I'm sure you could hear in the background. And yeah. I am so upset as I was walking over to give you guys a little performance here. They are putting up their accordions, but maybe you got to hear that in the background.
We did, yeah. It was really great background music to the interviews and the chat that we were having there. And it's gorgeous. I mean, I love even the color palette of everything being kind of warm tones and then that stark red building in the center. Do you know what building that is? Is it of importance, or is it just kind of a design thing?
It's a clock tower. You know, there are so many spired buildings here in Jelenia Gora, which are not all, you know, churches or necessarily historically significant, but they are significant in that they are so pleasing to the eye, and they draw your attention. I mean, just, you know, look at these buildings. And this, again, is not even what I would compare to like the downtown Tyler Square or the square in any Texas city. We're not in the immediate downtown area. And so it is just a beautiful city, very rich in history, dating back 900 years. Jelenia Gora is not a young city, where, of course, Tyler was founded in the 1800s. Of course, the railroad brought, you know, development and so much to East Texas. Jelenia Gora has been at times you know, part of the Prussian Empire, a part of Germany. It was actually renamed after World War II. It was originally named Hirschberg. It was its German name. And of course, after the war, and it was no longer occupied, Jelenia Gora was renamed to its Polish name, which is Deer Mountain. I'm taking you over to a really interesting statue here. Jelenia Gora is located in an area that is very active in thermal springs. Okay. And of course, people come here for the spas, for the natural springs, for the thermal energy, but all of the minerals and health benefits that they see. So low mineralized fluoride silicon, clear water from a depth of 2,000 meters. And these are the hottest springs in Poland. And so people can come here and press this button, which dispenses, and this one is not working, but just a little while ago. And you can actually drink from it. You can actually drink the water. And it says that it's safe to drink 1 glass per day on an empty stomach, about a half an hour before eating. And these are the different, you know, materials, the different minerals that are found in the water here. But just a neat example of this community. It is very naturally beautiful, which is almost ironic because Tyler's slogan is a natural beauty. But Jelenia Gora is a very beautiful historic town. And in between our appointments and meetings, we certainly have had the opportunity to explore a little bit and understand what makes this really such a special place. And so we have a busy couple of days ahead. Tomorrow, we will actually be attending a signing ceremony where Jelenia Gora will replace its former Russian sister city with 2 new sister cities from Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
And we'll be talking about that in detail on Good Morning East Texas. So tomorrow, of course, as Russia is set to recognize newly annexed, newly occupied areas as a part of that referendum that the Western countries are calling a sham, Jelenia Gora is making its own political statement as well and severing ties with its former Russian sister city of Vladimir, Russia, with 2 new sister cities from Ukraine to show that solidarity with their neighbors. Millions of Ukrainian refugees have come across the border into Poland. Poland houses more Ukrainian refugees than any other country in the world, and a couple thousand of them are here in Jelenia Gora. And as we've been showing you here on East Texas Now and on Good Morning East Texas, all of the contributions from East Texas, those donations are really making a difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, what a symbolic step for them to take to replace 1 city with 2 from Ukraine, to show that those Ukrainian refugees that want to make this their permanent home, they have the same idea. They welcome them home, and it's been incredible to follow your travels, the really important ones like yesterday's with the refugees, and the more minute details of just walking across and seeing, a AED that could help, and could change that outlook of health emergencies and things like, Birchfield Park or, back here in Tyler. And man, and it's just beautiful. It looks like everywhere you go, it's something for your eye to see, and just a little learning experience and a drop of history. Like you said, it's such a pretty and lengthy history of a town. I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time between meetings.
If I can take just a little more of your time, the accordion started playing again. So I'm walking right back over there, and if you can give me literally like just a few seconds before we say our farewells, I really wanted to share, of course, a traditional Polish accordion and a short performance, because these 2 gentlemen were quite impressive.
I love it. Are there accordion players throughout, or are these like a specific, you come here for these players?
Right now, this is it. They're here on the promenade.
That looks like it might be a family affair over there too.
It very well could be. They certainly enjoy playing with each other. You can tell.
Beautiful.
So, of course, we'll be checking back with you here throughout the next couple of days and into next week. But really, just what has become a lovely evening here, a full day of meetings and learning about the history of this region, which, just to put things in perspective, when we talk about things being old or historic in the U.S., we're talking about things that are maybe 100 years or more. But here we're talking about centuries and centuries of history, and that just puts things in perspective. But there's so much to learn and so many ties that can really enrich all of our lives in East Texas if we take the time to think about what happens in other parts of the world impact us back at home in East Texas. Devin?
Oh, definitely. Well, Lane, I want to thank you for taking the time for giving us a little stroll around the area. And like you said, it's not even like the downtown comparable area, but man, is it gorgeous. So much to learn, so much culture to be experienced just in a 360-degree turn, right? I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.